We are Ashton and Sierra. We're just wanting to talk about something called the Wound Vac. We're currently experiencing it. I'm not, but she is, by her mental support. We just wanted to share a video about it because we looked on YouTube and we didn't find anything for Wound Vac C-section. We wanted to make this video to inform you so you can have a better understanding than what we did and to know what you may expect or what not to expect. I don't know.
At my 2-week postpartum checkup, because I had a C-section, they realized there was an opening on my incision. So the incision had opened back up at like
3.5, 4. It was very big.
Pretty wide.
Yeah, it was big.
And about like what, 3 or 4 inches deep.
Probably 4 inches deep. It's like a Ziploc bag. What's the way I think of it.
Pretty scary. And it sucked because our doctor, like, we're gonna refer you to a wound clinic. Like, just the word wound sounds really scary. You're like, I wasn't in a war, I don't have a wound. Like, what are you talking about? We had to wait.
There were some complications on scheduling and we weren't able to get into the wound clinic right away. And so we had to wait a weekend with this open wound. There was some drainage that had to come out and there's just a pocket. And what they ended up having to do is take gauze.
It was like gauze like on a roll.
Gauze on a roll, 2 yards. It was really long. It was like balled up. What we ended up having to do is they took saline and they soaked it. They take the gauze and they stuffed it back inside and it was grossing me out.
He sent us home with supplies and said, you can change this out for her because it needed to be changed once a day.
And I was like, I can't do this. I'm not good with blood. I can barely handle the baby birth. I'm just a wuss. But we were able to have the nice doctor hook up with us over the weekend. The baby doctor was just like, like this kind of face.
Like he did the best he could.
He did the best he could.
And it was really great. Like unnerving, is that a word? Like it's really nerve-wracking whenever your doctor who delivered your child at a loss of what to do.
Even the nurses there.
Yeah, like there were nurses coming in because they'd never seen anything like it before. So here you are, you think you're this like really rare case that nothing like this ever happens to.
On Monday, as we went into the wound clinic, we were just drained like over the weekend. We met with a doctor and the people there were like, oh, we see these type of wounds where we have to stuff them and these kinds of things all the time. That's what they do.
Our doctor there at the wound clinic says he sees like these types of like C-sections have been having an opening at least 2 or 3 times a week. It's something that happens, I mean, not super often, but it happens. When they make you feel like you're the 1%, like 1% of however many C-sections there are in the United States a year is still a pretty large number. If you're watching this because you're going through it, don't feel alone because there are lots of women out there that are going through the same thing that you are. And you'll get through it and you'll be okay.
Or she cries.
We got there, the doctor looked it over, did his little exam. The nurses, at least at the local wound clinic that we've gone to, they're all super nice. They're really delicate, not only like physically with the incision itself, just with the whole situation. Because if you're there, it's because something that you had done went wrong. And so they're really sensitive to the situation and what's going on. I really, we've become like friends because I have to go in there once a week and they want to make you feel like at home. So Monday, we thought we were going in getting this like wound vac, but it was something that had to be approved through your insurance. The next day was a holiday in Utah. So they're like, it could be Thursday or Friday before we get it. So we went in on Wednesday and thankfully our insurance works fast and it got approved right away. Now, if you're watching this and that means you probably Googled wound vacs and it's really scary, don't do that. You'll see a lot of scary incisions that are nothing like what you're going through. Our nurses have said that they've like put wound vacs in toes, scrotums, thighs, like in really random places. Having it on your C-section incision is a really easy place to have it. Don't pay attention to anything that you've Googled except for this video thus far. We're not gonna show you pictures of any of my stuff because I personally just think you don't need to see it, it doesn't matter. I don't wanna see what's stuffed into my body in this huge opening. Now we're just gonna show you the Wound Vac because when they told me that I was gonna have something attached to me, I was devastated.
Oh,
but
like
we'll show you. Like, you have all this stuff attached to you, and it's obviously not ideal, but it's the situation you're in, and you can do things to make it better. Okay, so first of all, you get this super cute bag.
I call it her satchel.
It comes in a bag like this. Not very big.
It's like the size of a tabletop alarm clock on Google, and there's no size comparison. So here's the machine right here. It's like a touch screen. The screen never turns off. Luckily, this thing covers it at night. And then the only thing you have to deal with, there's this on and off switch, and then there's a little like thing that spins. It looks like a propeller. And then next to it says the number of pressure. It makes noises.
It like sputters. So this is what it looks like. There's this clear canister over here, changed out every time you have to change the stuffing, which we'll show in a second. And then there's this really long tubing.
It's like the size of a pencil. Smaller than your well, my pinky's huge, but
it's smaller than your pinky.
Okay, yeah.
So it's pretty long, so it gives you a lot of like movement. This tubing goes into the wound opening. Right now, I just have it stuffed through my sleeve, so when I'm out and about, it just looks less obvious. And the stuffing, do you want to talk about the stuffing?
Yeah, heck yeah. There's this cool sponge here. So this is extra, but it's just like a little snake. What they do, it depends too on your wound. When we first got it, it wasn't shaped like a snake, it was just huge. They take the smaller end and they shove it inside, and they leave this part out. This sponge part acts like kind of like a tube with this inside. So then this hangs out, and then what happens is the tube, like a mouthpiece that sits on top of this. It's like a leech is what it looks like, and they tape it to your body. So they have these giant sticker packets, so it's just like tape.
That's probably the part that sucks the most, is that they have to use this tape, and it goes like over your incision and then kind of like up your stomach a little ways, because that's what creates the seal, so that it can suction and create the negative pressure for the machine to work. I've had a lot of irritation, and I got like a blister, so that's sucked more than the rest of it, I feel like.
It's not terrible, but we just put some.
Is it on your body?
Okay, well, sorry. You turn it on, she always goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Machine is turned back on, it suctions back, it deflates.
It's like if you imagine those like vacuum packs for travel or storage, when you like stuff a pillowcase in and then you suck the air out of it with your vacuum cleaner, and it's just like super flat. I'm not a doctor, and don't take this as fact. It creates the negative pressure inside, forces it to come together so that it heals. And then with the sponge, it creates like pipe the fluid from your incision or the wound, whatever juices are in there come out. And so it just collects, and there's like a little like water absorbing pellets, like a little gel thing. It's really easy to change. You can do it at home.
Yeah, if it got really full, we have all the supplies here.
Yeah, hopefully you have good insurance. Expensive
even with insurance.
It's like right now we're dreading on what the bill's gonna be, so wish us luck.
Give us lots of views so we can pay for it.
Yeah, if we can even get out of it. This little machine, they say costs as much as $20,000. 2 of our cars right there. Let's talk about when we go out. Like today, we went out and we went to the mall.
Because you can still do stuff, like the same restrictions you have for your, like, after you've had a C-section, you have the 6 weeks restrictions. Don't ever do it. Don't pick up anything heavier than your baby. It's all the same stuff. So as long as you're feeling good, and in my case, it hasn't caused me a lot of pain. And I will say, it gets irritated and I'm in some pain when it gets changed. I asked about this in a group on Facebook. A girl commented and said that she had one and that it hurt when they changed it. But at least for me, it's not super painful. It's like irritated, and you can kind of feel like a little bit of pressure. So don't be scared. So when we go out, I just put it in this bag from Target. I mean, you can see some of the tubing obviously going from my arm to the book bag. It makes me feel a lot less self-conscious about it. And then also my mother-in-law made these little covers,
stretchy sock covers
for the tube. It's just like a little sock basically for the clear tube. And that mixed with my black book bag, you can barely notice it. Just don't care what people are thinking about you. They're gonna look at you, and if they see it and they have questions, they'll ask. If not, let them think whatever they want, or maybe they'll just be like, oh, she's going through something hard.
In the end, it's okay. Now, us making this video, the purpose of it is so that we can share our knowledge of what we experienced with you. So give it a thumbs up, like it, share it. Just make it so other people can understand, because like we couldn't find any information.
But this machine is great, and as much as it sucks to have to wear it, it has sped up my healing so much. First doctor's appointment, in depth, it was measuring 5 centimeters. At my next appointment, it was measuring at a 3.9. A week later, it was measuring at 2.2. The doctor at this last appointment said if it kept up the same progression, then we might even be able to get rid of it next week. We'll do another video when the vac comes off, but just know that this machine is going to be your best friend in healing. It really does speed it up so much, and so as much as I hate the inconvenience of it, it's getting me closer to being back to normal for my family and for myself. So I'll do whatever I have to do. If you're scared, feel scared, let yourself feel that, but also just know that you're gonna be okay. It's just part of the journey, and our cute little babies are worth it. So that's all I got. If you have questions, feel free to ask us.
Oh, it's farting right now. It likes to make fart noises.
All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.